So here is a picture that is seemingly being stealth released on July 4th weekend and will likely be missed by many people. And that's unfortunate because this is a film with a lot on its mind, and I think everyone should hear what it has to say. 40 Acres was written and directed by R.T. Thorne in his feature directorial debut and tells the story of a family who owns a farm that are living in a world that is ravished with famine, had a second civil war break out, and crops are a high currency in the world, so farm owners have detached themselves from the world in some type of factionalization way. They communicate through ham radio and inform each other of going-ons around them so they can all successfully protect their farms. But the matriarch of this family refuses to help anyone but hers. That's all that matters to her. The family we follow consists of the mother Haley, her husband Galen, and her 3 children. The heart and soul relationship in this movie is between mother and oldest son. The mother is played in an amazing performance by Danielle Deadwyler, who was in the film The Woman in the Yard from earlier this year and was the best part of that very flawed film. She plays this hard-as-nail survivalist who is a veteran and now runs her family with an iron fist. She carries the whole film. The opening sequence is incredible and does a great job of explaining the state of the world via some opening scroll text and how this family works together as a unit while dealing with people who would attempt to poach on their land. The opening 10 minutes of this picture are wonderful. The oldest son character has a more idealistic view of the people that could be out there from their farm and wants to see the good in people, whereas the mother is matter-of-fact, non-trusting, and only cares about the safety of the family and the farm. This dynamic is explosive throughout the whole picture. When the son sees a beautiful woman swimming in a river, it leads to a massive escalation between the two. The husband Galen is probably the best character in the film because he has all the comedic lines that help break the tension in a film that is grounded in nothing but a bleak mood, and he also gets the best action scenes near the end of the picture, so he's probably the most fun character to watch. The cinematography is really well done, conveying the dry, dark, and depressed feeling that the whole picture is going for. When I saw all of the farmland in that depressed world, I needed a sip of my drink. The violence in this film is raw and does not shy away from it. There is a group of people our family must deal with in the second half of the picture, and you see people get thrashed in raw and believable ways. This film is not for the squeamish, but it's not done in a horror film kind of way. It seems to me that it's filmed in a more like war film kind of way, where it wants you to be uncomfortable with the violence you see. It does not romanticize it. The biggest things that didn't work for me in this film were 2 things. One, the main relationship between mother and son is the soul of this picture, but I felt that her being so hard on her son left to no self-actualization from the mom. By introducing the flashback scenes to show us what her life was like when she was serving, gives us a great setup for why she is as hard-boiled as she is. But by making her relationship with her son so antagonistic, I would expect them to grow from each other and come out stronger via a resolution of their conflict. But this film doesn't have that. It feels like the film ran out of ideas with the family drama stuff and decided to add a villainous group out of the blue, which leads me to the other thing that didn't work for me. The villains of the picture are incompatible with how the world was set up. The opening crawl mentions these factions that occupy the world kind of the way 28 Years Later did, but the villains themselves have no motivation that feels earned. They're just cliched villains who don't belong in a story as deep as this one is trying to be. I was hoping for antagonists of this family to be smart and strong foils that could bring the family together as a unit to conquer their problem, but instead the family gets separated for almost the entire last act, and it felt it was a disservice to the strength the film was trying to build up for the first 2 acts. It felt very tacked on. I also think that the woman the son meets is written in an archetype way as well once everything has been revealed to us. It's like she gets pushed to the side instead of being a place of growth for the son to self-actualize. Basically what I'm saying is that I think the first 2 acts are incredible, but the film begins to lose its way when it reduces its strong story to typical survival film cliches during the 3rd act. It's like making the film forcing it to use action tentpoles drives out the tension where we know who is and isn't safe at any given moment in the film. It weakens the themes by not having any surprises. However, I do like the last scene of the film, and it gets the picture back on the amazing track it was on for the first 2/3 of it. I think people should see this picture, and I think it's much more thought-provoking than most of the summer films out right now. Even though it has a number of flaws and stumbles through getting its message, I can't help but admire this attempt for a first-time director. It's a strong work. Add in strong performances, and I think this film should not be buried over July 4th weekend. It has similar vibes to 28 Years Later, and while I think that film is a little better than 40 Acres is, I think they're great companion pieces to have this summer. I'm glad they both exist, as they are telling similar stories, but both from fresh perspectives. I got to see this picture twice, once on June 16th at an unseen screen, and I got to see it again on Juneteenth. And I enjoyed it more on my second watch because I was able to just vibe with its themes more. It's one of those need to watch more than once kind of films, and I really enjoy when I see pictures that are like that. They end up becoming some of the classics we remember years from now. So again, this film has a lot on its mind that some people may not want to deal with, and some of the themes don't fully get out as strongly as I'd like them to. I still really enjoyed this film though, and rooted for the family all the way. Check this one out. I give 40 Acres 3 stars out of 4. Danielle Deadwyler is a force of nature in this picture. Sorry if this review didn't talk about too many specific sequences. I wanted to try and be as spoiler free as I can and hope that you discover this treasure like I did. And that is my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please like and subscribe. Here's links to my other videos. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.